you for your interest today in Wayside Publishing's proficiency-based series for Spanish, EntreCulturas. I'm excited to share an overview of our resources with you today. By the end of our time together, I'm hoping you will be able to explain how our products support proficiency-based programs and what the benefits of our program are. You will also be able to show how the learning site is an integral part of this and ultimately envision how our products could be used in your classroom. Today, I'm here to introduce you to EntreCulturas. EntreCulturas is a truly proficiency-based textbook series that will take your students from the novice low level in level 1 up through the high advanced low level in level 4 in our signature AP textbook series, Triángulo Apreciado. Learning new methodologies, practices, and trying to provide great outcomes for your students at the same time can be challenging. You may not have learned your second or third language with a focus on proficiency. I know I didn't. You may be on your own path to teaching with proficiency, anywhere from standing on the edge, weighing your options about jumping, or maybe you're in midair, trying to make that leap in between a traditional approach and a proficiency-based approach. Or maybe you've already landed on the other side and now you're excited to have a resource like Wayside Publishing EntreCulturas that will fully support you. Wherever you are, Wayside is here. Because we've learned a lot since I was a student. National standards and research that drives those are telling us that we need to make that leap. A leap from a traditional style of teaching that's teacher-centered to one that's proficiency-based, that really does focus on what students can do with the language. So what does it mean to be proficiency-based? Here you can see some of the key components to a proficiency-based program, which are all integral to our products. We help students to learn to use the language as opposed to just learning about the language. We do that through having students interact in all three modes of communication, the interpersonal, the interpretive, and the presentational, in real-world tasks using authentic resources whenever possible. Each unit is created with backwards design to focus on making sure the students can answer the essential questions and meet the unit goals to be successful on their performance-based assessments. One last component of a proficiency-based program is emphasizing not only communicative proficiency, but intercultural proficiency as well, so that our students can communicate appropriately when speaking with people from other cultures. EntreCulturas is truly proficiency-based and offers a new approach to moving learners from novice to intermediate proficiency levels in EntreCulturas 1 through 4. As such, we are aligned to the World Readiness Standards for Language Learning, the proficiency guidelines, the performance descriptors, and the can-do statements. The series is also aligned with AP themes and includes practice in AP-style tasks starting at level 1. One of the key features of the Wayside line of textbooks is our use of authentic resources in print, audio, and video formats. Note that the definition of authentic resources are materials created by native speakers for native speakers and unedited for second language learners. This is important for language learning and gaining proficiency. In EntreCulturas, we edit the task, not the resource. The resources not only provide high-interest input for a student that engages them in the language, but they also present the vocabulary and grammar in a context. And in fact, the actual vocabulary and language structures we focus on come from those authentic resources, as well as all of our activities and assessments.
En el colegio es como si los indígenas nos sentíamos rechazados por nuestra vestimenta.
From the very beginning with EntreCulturas 1, learners are immersed in the target language through a variety of authentic resources. One of those is our student blogueros, real young people who agreed to videotape themselves commenting on themes that link to each of the 19 units of EntreCulturas. Let's take a look at Melissa, our bloguera in EntreCulturas 1, Unidad 6.
En uno de los parques de mi conjunto residencial y les quería mostrar el clima que está haciendo. Bueno, como pueden ver, hoy está siendo un día muy soleado. Usualmente aquí en Colombia hace dos estaciones, que es una verano y una invierno. Cuando hace aquí en Colombia calor, no es un calor muy fuerte.
As you can see, we don't expect students to understand everything that the blogueros say or to comprehend everything they read, hear, or view on any of the many authentic resources that they will be exposed to during the course of the series. But through our approach, we build an environment of exploration, curiosity, and risk-taking by providing comprehensible input and then scaffolding activities to support students as they build their proficiency in the language. That scaffolding, for example, with Melissa's blog includes pre, during, and post-viewing activities. Those authentic resources are foundational to our program. As the very name implies, EntreCulturas positions learners to cultivate deeper cultural understandings, not simply knowledge of the 3 Ps, but new perspectives gleaned from engaging with authentic language and interacting in culturally appropriate ways in real-world experiences. Our program goes beyond the 3 Ps: interaction, authentic language, appropriate use and demonstration of knowledge and understanding of the cultures. We get this to this point by incorporating the world readiness next generation standards, the 5 Cs through the 3 modes of communication: interpretive, interpersonal, and presentational, so that students can know themselves, explore communities, theirs and others, and engage with the world, all in order to arrive at interculturality, or the I in the middle. And the process toward developing interculturality is intertwined with the process of building communicative ability and proficiency. Proficiency is both communicative and intercultural. In designing EntreCulturas, we applied the backwards design planning process, beginning with the end in mind. That is, each unit builds what students will need to know and be able to do in order to demonstrate their communicative skills and cultural and content knowledge by the end of the unit. So we developed the essential questions and the unit goals. Then we built the summative assessment and the performance assessments, the IPAs, that we will call Vive EntreCulturas, and we'll take a look at those a little bit deeper in just a moment. The unit activities, communicative tasks, and formative assessments were developed based on authentic resources with the integrated performance assessment, the Vive EntreCulturas, in mind. Students are going to soon I'm going to walk you through a sample unit and show you how this all flows together. So first we're going to start with the essential questions. In this example here, level 1, unit 1, the question of who am I is what students will be looking at. How does what I do define who I am? Then we're going to go to the unit goals, where students are going to interact to express their identity, ask for and give personal information, express preferences about activities, interpret images, video, audio, and print text in Spanish, present basic information about themselves, and investigate, explain, and reflect on the target culture. And again, they will prove or show what they know at the end of the unit through the Vive EntreCulturas summative assessment. Here's an example of how EntreCulturas presents vocabulary. Vocabulary is presented in context in smaller chunks so that students can acquire the language as opposed to memorize it. The activities are scaffolded and go from receptive mode to the more productive mode, as you will see on the following pages. We also have tools such as flashcards and PowerPoints to assist both teachers and students in providing comprehensible inputs.
Lo que normalmente llevo al colegio es en mi mochila, son los libros,
You will also notice a column called Además se dice. Our primary vocabulary is called Así se dice, and those are the words and phrases that students will need to know and understand and be able to do to meet the unit objectives and the summative assessment or the IPA at the end of the unit. The Además se dice are additional words that students don't have to know, but students may want to push themselves to be able to speak more specifically on specific topics or customize the language to meet their needs. There are online practice activities on the digital learning sites that go anywhere from matching to fill in the blank, drop and drag. Some of the activities are teacher graded and others are graded by the computer itself. Next, I want to look at briefly grammar in context. So how does EntreCulturas address the topic of grammar? EntreCulturas utilizes the discovery or inductive method for introducing grammar, so students generate and test hypotheses, which research shows allows them to reach higher levels of understanding and mastery. Let's look at how this high-powered strategy works. In EntreCulturas, the grammar structures are presented in a section called Observa. The Observa process represents the noticing and creating meaning of language in these 5 steps. First, students are presented with a resource that has the structure in it. However, at this point, they're just processing it for meaning. In fact, the main focus of this particular image is to present vocabulary on past activities. Then students are given a copy of the text with the grammar structure highlighted. That could be in different colors, bolded, italics, or an indicator of what to listen for in an audio resource. Students are then asked to read the captions, notice the bold words. A series of questions will help them make predictions, which they will jot down on a graphic organizer. Students will share their observations and thoughts with a classmate and then with the whole class in a think, pair, share type activity.
Okay.
The directions lead students through the process of identifying the structure and how it's used. They can access a variety of resources in the textbook and the Explorer course to test their hypothesis.
Hola! In this video, you will observe how to talk about completed past action.
One of those are our Observa lessons. These video lessons are supported with graphic organizers and walk students through the discovery process in a different way that's in the textbook. And the last step is students continuing to practice the structure and internalize the meaning and the structure itself in a variety of interpersonal and presentational speaking and writing activities. Assessments in EntreCulturas are performance-based. They focus on what learners can do in the language using authentic tasks and resources as a springboard for demonstrating performance in the 3 modes of communication: the interpretive, the interpersonal, and the presentational. The formative assessments in EntreCulturas are called En Camino and give students a checkpoint to demonstrate what they are learning and get feedback from the teacher before the final summative assessment. The assessments have a variety of rubrics available, analytic growth rubrics as well as holistic. The summative assessment in EntreCulturas is called Vive EntreCulturas. It is an integrated performance assessment with each of the 3 modes of communication working together to complete an authentic task. The Vive EntreCulturas have the same structure in every unit. First, students will be reminded of the essential questions and be presented with a real-world scenario. Next, they will do a series of interpretive, interpersonal, and presentational tasks. The summative assessments come with specific analytic rubrics tailored to the 3 modes of communication and aligned to the ACTFL proficiency guidelines and performance descriptors. In addition, there is a variety of holistic rubrics as well. In addition to the actual textbook, EntreCulturas has an online learning and course management system, the Learning Site. The Learning Site can be accessed by computer, tablets, and smartphones. It connects teachers and students to all of the digital resources and products of EntreCulturas and is made up of the following components. First, you have the flex text. The flex text links to content such as audio, video, and more. You can search the flex text in English or the target language, and students and teachers are able to annotate and highlight text or make notes. The next we have is Explorer. Explorer is the heart of the Learning Site. It's where all of the resources, the video, the audio, the PDF activities, etc., are all housed. PDFs can be downloaded and then written on and then uploaded into a classroom management system. Written and oral responses. There are activities that are proficiency driven. We have a classroom forum or a discussion board where students are able to interact with each other through written or oral prompts using audio or video. There are also additional resources and activities that are not part of our textbook series. These extension activities have a variety of forms, multiple choice, long answer, etc., and provide additional practice for students. And lastly, the Explorer holds a wide variety of teacher resources, such as rubrics, graphic organizers, a list of the authentic resources available in the various texts, audio, video, answer keys, etc. Lastly, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our student online digital portfolio. In the online portfolio, students are able to self-reflect on the can-do statements. They rate themselves on a scale of 1, 2, or 3 based on their current understanding of that and ability to demonstrate those particular can-do statements. Then students are able to provide evidence of their rating, either in writing with an audio or video recording, uploading content, or they can even attach an assignment that you gave them from Explorer as their evidence. We know that you'll love the Wayside difference because when language teaching and learning is proficiency-oriented, learning is meaningful. By using backward design, our products are goal-oriented and learning is intentional. We use authentic resources and focus on interculturality so students will experience language in a real-world context. Wayside encourages self-direction and internalized learning by providing students opportunities to learn the vocabulary and grammar in context and by showing what they can do in the language. The path to proficiency starts with Wayside. At Wayside, we will walk along with you on the path to proficiency as partners as well. We support your professional growth, not just with our progressive programs, but with ongoing professional development that meets you where you are on your journey and will help you move forward. We're looking forward to joining you on your path. Thank you for taking the time to review EntreCulturas today. If you have any questions or would like more information, please contact your account manager or email Wayside Publishing at info@waysidepublishing.com. Thank you.